few of you have asked me, how do I make printed music videos? And what I mean by printed music is you have the score on the screen with the part or the click track or the accompaniment underneath the score so that your ensemble members or your students can make their virtual recordings, can participate in class, or just practice. So I normally do this in Final Cut Pro, but I'm going to be doing it in WeVideo. WeVideo is a really cheap option for creating virtual ensembles or making videos in general. I normally do this in Final Cut Pro, but WeVideo really streamlines the process for you. So I'm going to start by going to WeVideo.com, logging in with my Google school account. LCPS has provided all teachers access to WeVideo, thankfully. So I'm going to go to New Video, Create New Video, and I'm going to start editing. So I'm going to import my PDF. So I'm going to browse my files, and I'm going to go to Desktop and click on my Fall 2020 Materials, Falcon Singers, and there's going to be a Homecoming. And then there's my PDF. I'm going to open that PDF. And it's going to take a few seconds to load. It's a little quirky. This is a new feature for WeVideo, to being able to import a PDF. And you can do this with your Google Slides. If you save your Google Slides as a PDF, you can import all of them at once and narrate over your Google Slides as a PDF. But I'm going to go to Photos, and you see like some of them are there. Now I'm going to go back to all, and oh, there's even more. So I'm going to go to this list. I'm missing like the top ones. I'm going to go back to Photos, go back to all, and now all of them are there. Fine. So what you could do is you could highlight all of your photos, all of your PDF photos at once, and bring them onto your timeline. That works. But if you look, this page has 3 systems of music. So I'm going to bring this page, I'm going to have to bring this page down 3 times. So I'm going to do 2 full pages of music for you to start off with. So I'm going to bring this onto video 1, and then I'm going to double click on the page itself. And I'm going to scale, zoom in to where I need it, where it's almost filling the page, and then I'm going to bring it down. And I'm going to keep the music close to the top, so I'm going to add my conducting track right below it. Save changes. All right, let's bring it and then make it a little bit longer. And then I'm going to bring in page 1 again. Double click, zoom in, but this time I'm going to zoom into that middle section. All right, save changes. I'm going to bring in the page 1 again, double click, and now I'm going to scale for that bottom system, making sure to keep everything towards the top. Save. I don't know if I did that for the second page. Just keep it towards the top. Save changes. So now it's time for page 2. Page 2 has 3 systems again. We've got full score, then we've got a piano interlude, then the score again, and bring it down, double click, zoom in for that top system, making sure we get all of it in there. Save changes. 2 again, double click. Middle system, and making sure it's towards the top. And page 2, this is our last one we're going to do together. Again, I'm just dragging it onto my timeline, double clicking to get into the to edit the properties, and using this scale button, and then just clicking and dragging to move and place the image where I want it in the frame. Save changes. Now, audio. Now I need to bring in my audio tracks. I'm going to add a few audio track. Alto. And then tenor. So what I'm doing to add an audio track, I'm going to this little plus button here on the bottom left-hand side, clicking that plus button. I want to add another audio track. This will be bass. Add track. So now if I scroll down, you'll see there's alto, tenor, bass. I need to make audio 2 soprano, and I just clicked on the and this will be SATB. I just clicked on the text itself to edit it, and this is the SATB track. Great. So now I'm going to go import my audio. So I have a folder here, and here's my folder with my audio tracks. I'm just going to drag those into the media folder, media window, and now it's here. I'm just going to drag it onto my timeline. And as you can see, this is where the music starts. So I'm going to highlight everybody here and just drag them over. So it's starting around where the audio starts. So now I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to hit play and see what happens. Okay. I want the page to turn a beat before the next system. It's almost right. I'm going to move everything over a little bit and just scooch it over. So I'm just grabbing the ends of the image itself to make it longer and dragging. Perfect. So I'm going to grab this guy, bring him over. I want this to turn right around coming. Listening for the word coming. We're going to stop right there. So we're going to notice that it's right here on the waveform. I got to move these guys out of the way. And then drag to elongate. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. All right, pretty good. Oh, you might notice that this looks a little blurry. Don't worry about it being blurry. When you export the file, it goes to full resolution. I don't know why WeVideo does this with their images, but it will look fine. I promise. Coming back to people and the places. Gotta wait for that fermata. So that's where we want it to turn the page. So I'm just going to move these guys over and then drag. So now we've got our music time for at least the beginning of this piece, right? So let's bring our playhead over and give it a watch. Home, I'm coming home. Fine. Now we have to add the other parts to this. So we're gonna add the other voice parts to this. So I'm going to grab my tenor. I'm going to grab soprano 1, bass, and alto. I had other tracks for this, but for our purposes, this is all we need. So we're going to drag this. We're going to grab the soprano 1 part, move it onto the soprano. Whoops, move it onto the soprano line. We can grab the alto part, move it onto the alto line. Tenor and bass. Now we have our parts on here, and now we need to add our conducting track. So I will go and import media. I'm going to browse to select my media. I'm pretty sure I've got it in an external hard drive. So I'm going to go to school, and then there's homecoming conducting track. Open. And it's processing. It's basically importing. And all of the processing is done on a server. So it's not your computer that's making these videos. It's you're just viewing the video. All the hard work is being done on a server somewhere in probably Ashburn. Here we go. So now I'm going to bring my conducting video down and place it right there. And I can't see its audio yet, so I need to click on this little arrow right here, this down arrow, and I'm going to click on the big window, and there's the audio waveform. It's still processing, I guess. So I'm going to scoot my playhead around to where it looks like I'm giving a downbeat. There we go. And I'm going to use the scissor tool right here, this little scissor tool, and I'm going to cut and just delete that part of it. And it's still loading. You can see me giving the clap. clap, clap, clap. I'll use the scissor tool again. There we go. I'm in the ready position. I'm going to scoot it down. I really wish the audio would load, the waveform would load, but let's give it a listen to see where we are, and syncing it with the audios. Ooh, I better mute the rest of the tracks just for now, just so we're not listening to everything else that's going on. We're just listening to the SATB track right there. All right, so that's where I need to place the beginning of our piece. Okay, so let's give this another shot. Pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to scoot the audio down on my conducting track, and now I need to make it smaller. So I'm going to double click just like we did with the music, but instead of zooming in, we're going to zoom out. And make me kind of small. But here we go. Zoom out, and then if you wanted to, you could go to the crop tool and you just pull in the sides, taking into account whoops, that's the side of the window, taking into account for your wingspan, and save changes. So now you've got your conducting video down there. Still looks a little too big. It's taking up about half the screen. I wanted to take up about a third of the height of the screen. Just scaling it back to like maybe 24%. And if it gets in the way, you can always make it smaller. Really, no one's really watching the conductor anyway. I'm just there for tough entrances, and the students and your singers they're listening to their part tracks. Okay, so there we go. So now it's time to export. You've got your conducting track, you've got all of your audio tracks down here. Now you have to export this video 5 times. One for the SATB, and then one for each voice part. So we're going to start with the SATB. We're going to go to the finish button, even though we still have pages that are still being that we still haven't put on the timeline. This is just how you export. We're still processing. Got it. So we'll just wait. All right. Now that it's done processing, we can hit the finish button. And we're going to call this home SATB. And we're going to set. So we want to do this at HD because we want the resolution on the music to be very crisp. So then we hit the export button. Great. And it says video is queued. So we're going to go back. And we're going to mute the SATB audio down here on the left-hand side, and we are going to bring up the soprano. And we're going to go to finish. We're going to call this home SOP1 export. Now we're going to go back and we're going to do the same thing for the alto. And we're going to bring down the soprano line, bring down the soprano part, bring up the alto. And we're going to hit finish, and we're going to call this alto. And you would rinse and repeat for the rest of the I didn't do that. It is HD. Whoopsie. You do that for the rest of your stuff, and it would end up it would be saved on your WeVideo your WeVideo account, and you can export it down and see it would be under exports. And I've got my different exports here. See, these two are the two that we just did, and here's some of my practice ones and other videos. So yeah, that's how you make a printed music video using WeVideo. Bye everybody.